You've probably seen someone like this before. A guy walks into a room, not flashy, not loud, but somehow everyone notices. He doesn't need to prove anything. People just feel it. There's something about him. He surveys the room, calm and composed, as though the air itself shifts to make space for him. He could be a nobody on paper, but in that moment, he's anything but. His presence speaks volumes, and you sit there wondering, how does he do it? Why do people treat him like he's important, even when he hasn't done anything yet? Here's the uncomfortable truth. He's not necessarily better than you. He might not be smarter, more skilled, or more deserving, but there is one thing he does that you daren't. He acts like he belongs. He carries himself like no one is better than him, and the world believes it. You've been told to wait your turn, to be humble, to let your work speak for itself. But in reality, the world doesn't wait to hear your story. It reads your posture. It listens to your tone, okay? It watches how you walk, how you speak, how you sit, whether you make eye contact or avoid it. Your presence speaks before your voice does. And if your presence says, I'm unsure, people will treat you like you don't belong, no matter how brilliant you are. That is why the phrase, act as if you read the best isn't just motivational fluff it as a survival strategy. You don't become powerful and then start acting like you deserve respect. You act like you deserve it, and that's what opens the doors. This might sound like theater, and in a way, it is. But theater isn't fake. It's performance with intent. When an actor steps on stage, they're not lying. They're fully embodying the role, showing up with purpose, and inviting others into belief. It's what you must do. Because in the theater of life, those who hesitate to perform are given background roles, no matter how brilliant they are behind the scenes. You might think the world rewards skill. It doesn't. It rewards certainty. The man who walks with conviction gets listened to, even when he's wrong. The man who hesitates, even when he's right, is often ignored. People follow energy, verity. They follow the one who seems to know. Confidence isn't a prize you earn after you win. It's the armor you wear before the fight begins. It's not the result of success. It's the condition for it. Think of the times you let opportunities pass because you didn't feel ready. Think of the conversations where you wanted to speak but doubted whether you had the right to. Think of the times you worked harder than anyone else, yet someone else claimed the position with confidence while you waited for permission. The world doesn't hand out permission slips. It hands out rewards to those who act like they belong at the table. Guess some of the most successful people aren't the most talented. They the most convincing. They walk like the ground owes them something. They speak like their words are law. They move like the crown is already on their head, even if it's invisible. And eventually, the world sees that crown too. It's not magic, it's repetition. It's the discipline of showing up every day as a person you want to become until you repeated it so many times that people stop questioning it. They just believe it. You might say, but I'm not that confident yet. That's fine. You don't need to be. You just need to act like you are, not to deceive others, but to retrain yourself. You're not pretending. You're becoming. You're sculpting your presence, like a stone carver shaping a statue. You carve, you polish, you adjust, and slowly, the image becomes real. Every movement matters. How you enter a room, how you shake hands, how you listen, how you speak, it all sends a signal. And that signal is not passive, it's active. It either pulls people in or pushes them away. It either says, I am someone, or you can ignore me. People don't dig deep, okay? They respond to what's on the surface, not because they're cruel, but because that's how we're wired. We don't have time to evaluate everyone's soul. We go off cues, body language, voice, eye contact, pace, posture, confidence. The tease isn't about arrogance. It's about assumption. Tease. If you assume you're powerful, you'll start to walk, speak, and look like it, okay? And the world will reflect that back to you. If you assume you're invisible, that you need to prove yourself first, that others are better than you, you'll move accordingly, shrink, you'll wait, you'll apologize for taking up space, and the world will reflect that too. You are not just living in the world, you're projecting into it. The world responds to what you project, not to your potential, not to your truth, but to your signal. So act like you're the best, not to put others down, but to show yourself in the world that you finally understand what no one ever taught you. Power is not granted, it's assumed, and the one who dares to assume it wins. Have you ever wondered why some people, even when they have nothing truly remarkable to offer, still get all the attention? They walk into a meeting, offer a few vague ideas, and somehow everyone listens, agrees. Meanwhile, someone else, maybe you, has spent hours thinking through the problem, refining solutions, preparing carefully, and still, your words barely land. It's not your intelligence that's lacking. It's not your preparation. It's the signal you send the moment you open your mouth. Even before that, the world doesn't follow competence. It follows certainty. People crave something firm to believe in. And when you walk and speak like you're absolutely sure of yourself, you become that anchor. Others are looking for it even if your ideas aren't perfect. Confidence is not a reward. It's a requirement. If you want to lead, you cannot wait until you feel completely ready. You will never feel completely ready. No one does. The difference is that those who rise choose to act like they re-ready even when they re-terrified inside. That's the lie that becomes the truth. Because every time you carry yourself like you're in control, people begin to believe it. They adjust to your rhythm. They respond to the image you project, not the facts you carry. This is why average men lead exceptional teams, okay? This is why loud, overconfident voices take up all the space, while the quiet genius remains overlooked. The world reflects what you are, what you broadcast, not what you contain. You can be brilliant, insightful, and strong, but if your behavior whispers hesitation, people won't dig deeper to find out what you're really made of. They'll take the hint and move on. That's why you must own the room before it offers you permission. Walk in like you belong. Speak like you've earned your place. Carry yourself like you have nothing to prove. Because the moment you try to prove something, you signal that maybe you're not as powerful as you claim. Even hesitation becomes a message of delay in response. A nervous laugh, a hunched posture. These are tiny leaks of energy that signal, I'm not sure of myself. Can people feel that instantly? They'll reposition you. They'll test your boundaries. They'll question your opinions, not to hurt you, but because that's how the human brain operates. We trust what we can feel. We follow what we can sense. Confidence, true or performed, is one of the most powerful emotional signals in existence. It creates gravity. It draws people in. This is why you should never wait to be celebrated before you carry yourself like a winner. Never wait to be validated before you stand tall. Never wait for your turn to speak up. Kagged. Every hesitation is an invitation for someone else to steal your moment. This isn't about being loud. It's about being sure. Even your silence can command power if you choose it deliberately. When you sit in a room and say little but hold eye contact, sit upright, and exude certainty, people begin to wonder what you're thinking. They lean in. They pay attention. Because silence, when paired with confidence, becomes mystery. And mystery is magnetic. But silence without presence is just invisibility. You must learn the difference. When you walk into a space, your first task is not to explain yourself. It's to occupy it fully with your spine, your steps, your breath, your gaze, your energy. Before you say a word, your presence has already started the conversation. And when you finally speak, let your voice carry the weight of your belief. Not just belief in your idea, but belief in yourself. Speak like your words matter, like they carry consequences. Like people would be foolish not to listen, because the truth is, if you speak without belief, your audience won't believe either. And if you don't look convinced of your own power, no one else will be. People want to follow someone who seems to know where they're going. They want to stand behind someone who already seems chosen. They want to hand a crown to someone who already acts like they're wearing it. So act, not because you're arrogant, not because you're faking anything, but because you understand this game, and you're done sitting on the sidelines. You don't owe the world your humility. You owe it your presence, and if you don't claim your space, someone else will. And chances are, they'll be far less deserving than you. You might still wonder, what if I'm just pretending? What if I act confident and someone sees through me? But here's the real twist. Everyone's pretending. Even the most powerful people you admire, at some point, were just like you and sure, nervous, making it up as they went. The difference is, they didn't let that uncertainty show. Hey, they acted with conviction before they had proof. They understood something most people never do. Your belief shapes reality, not the other way around. Think of confidence as a kind of self-hypnosis. At first, it feels awkward. You stand taller, even though your legs feel shaky. You speak up, even though your voice wants to tremble. You look someone in the eye, even though your instinct is to look away. But the more you repeat it, the more your body learns. The more your voice adapts. The more your energy catches up with your act. That's not deception. That's transformation. You are not lying to the world. You're teaching it how to treat you. And you're teaching yourself who you're becoming. Because every time you carry yourself like a person of value, you start to believe it. And once you believe it, others follow. This is how reputations are built, not on truth, but on consistency. The world doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most consistent signal. If you project the same image day after day, people will eventually accept it. They'll stop questioning it. They'll repeat it. And soon, your myth becomes your identity. You've seen this in action. A man walks into a room with quiet certainty. He doesn't need to brag. He doesn't even need to talk much. But people make way for him. Okay, defer to him. Why? Because he assumes power. An assumption is contagious. Spreads like scent. People feel it before they understand it. On the other hand, think about the man who walks in unsure of his place. He smiles too often. His body shrinks into itself. He tries to be agreeable to avoid discomfort, to take up as little space as possible. And what does the room do in response? It forgets him. It overlooks him. Not because he's not worthy, but because he told the room without saying a word that he doesn't belong. You don't have to shrink. You don't have to explain. You don't have to wait for permission. Act like you're already worthy. The world will follow.